It had taken Rita and Dr. Loud a few minutes to completely sponge bath Lincoln entirely, and despite his condition, Lincoln didn't struggle at all when being bathed with the warm showered water. To their surprise, Lincoln seemed to slightly enjoy the whole experience, as he grabbed another sponge and tried to wash it himself. Careful there, kiddo. You might hurt yourself if you press it there too hard. Uh-huh. What's this? What here? You had surgery right there, and those stitches are holding the wounds together. And if they get too wet, they might come loose. So you need to be careful. Lincoln didn't seem to understand what Rita was talking about. It wasn't that much of a surprise to either of them, since his mindset was still that of a toddler, though Lincoln seems to have recovered a little bit of his memories. He had trouble understanding complex issues like this. I'm not sure that Lincoln gets what was you're saying, Miss Loud. You didn't seem to understand complex issues and situations like this due to the mindset. How can I make him understand what I'm telling him? Well, you have to communicate with him the way you would a toddler, like I said before. Lincoln's mindset was still that of a toddler, so you need to communicate with him the way you would with the small toddler daughter of yours. Hmm. Oh, I get it. Lincoln, don't do that, sweetie. You'll hurt yourself. Hurts. I know, sweetie, but you'll need to let them heal. So you need to not touch them. Hurts. Stop. Lincoln, no, you have to stop doing that. Uh, is that doing right? Yeah, I guess so. No, let go. So stop. Please, Lincoln, try to understand me. Stop, you hurt me. Stop. I'm not trying to hurt you, Lincoln. I was trying to help you. You know, you hurt hand. My hand hurts. Mrs. Loud, you're gripping too tight on his IV needle. I'm sorry. Can't move, can't move. Lincoln, you're paralyzed from the waist down. You won't be able to move your legs. Oh. Paralyzed? You didn't seem to understand what you're saying, Miss Loud. Lincoln doesn't know the meaning of the word paralyzed. Oh. I don't know what else I'm gonna say because I don't remember the time ever since I did that to my other daughters when they were toddlers, and I had to do something like that a different way. Okay. This is just horrible. Lincoln's mind is all messed up, and I can't do anything about it. Ma, what, you hurt? No, I'm fine, sweetie. It's just please don't try to hurt yourself. Mm-hmm. No. I'm sorry, sweetie, but this is for your own good. I'm sorry, sweetie, but it's for your own good. Alright, let's get him back to the hospital room. Will Lincoln... Will Lincoln recognize any of us? It's hard to say. His memory with us is still fuzzy in a lot of areas, so I can't be sure. I just hope he wasn't in any pain. I guess so. I guess so, because it's no wonder I was the feels to be that kind of mature. My goodness, what happened to him? Well, the poor boy looks like a train hit him. Whoa, dude, why is Lincoln in a diaper? Well, he's not able to use the restroom properly like before due to his brain damage, so he has to wear one for now. That's horrible. That's messed up. No, what doing? I need you to hold still, Lincoln. We need to dress your surgical wounds so that they'll heal properly. Lincoln seemed to understand this because he stayed still as the two nurses began to slowly and gently address Lincoln's surgical wounds. I guess it's really true. He is injured. Very badly. Yes, I'm afraid so, Mrs. Saggio. No thanks to her. No, she didn't do it on purpose. It's only an accident. Yeah, some accidents. Lincoln's particularly a vegetable because of Luan. Ronnie Ann, you're not the only one who's upset here. All of us are. Yet, that doesn't mean we should treat Luan like garbage and useless. But still, that doesn't mean like we had to do that for a reason. We had to like treat Luan like garbage. We need to put behind us and move on. Okay? I still don't trust Luan. You still don't trust her? Nothing. I just said that. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just saying something different. Alright, here you go. Alright. It's all done. Alright. Everything is good? Is everything alright? Yes. Everything is completely fine. All I need to do is just try to make sure that he'll stay there. And just not make sure he's gonna be all wrist down or something. You're going to try and speak to Lincoln. Maybe trying to apologize to him. It's not like he'll do anything. He hates me. Even with brain damage, he still hates me. I can't exactly blame him after what you did. It's gonna be a while before he ever trusts you again. I can't exactly say this, but this is a terrible happening. Yeah, well, imagine what it's like being crushed down by a giant refrigerator. Boy, your body will be dead soon after. Or either you get hit by a train, you would have died. So you decided to just like get crushed down by a refrigerator. I know it sounds horrible, but still, it's happened. I just can't believe this is all just coming true eventually, because what am I gonna do with my only brother if it's in here at hospital? Yeah, well, that. One time, I had this kind of thing happening ever since my cat got paralyzed by watching some sort of a big fictional stories or something. Or was it just me? I was watching some fictional stories, but I never actually really think would be that happening, but I'm pretty sure that this sort of thing here, it's beyond me I ever seen. It's like that time member says you got hit by a car or a truck or hard. Yeah, I guess so. Luan knew this was true, and she couldn't blame Lincoln either. If he decided to ever trust Luan again, she wouldn't be surprised. Lincoln had every right to hate Luan after everything she had done for him, or done to him. He'd never be able to reach his full potential mutually due to his injuries, and he'd never be able to walk again either. Luan had truly messed up, big time, and she knew that even if it was possible for Lisa to try to repair some of the damage due to Lincoln's body, she wouldn't be able to repair all of it. Luan looked around the room and then noticed something. Lisa was absent from the room. Hey, where's Lisa? Unknown to all of them, Lisa had stuck out of the room and followed Dr. Lloyd down the hall towards a large office room which was labeled medical files. To avoid being seen, she hid behind the potential hospital bed until Lloyd emerged from inside of the room and head off to another part of the hospital. Once Lloyd was fully out of sight, Lisa left her hiding spot and headed towards the door, hoping it wasn't locked. To her relief, it's unlocked, allowing her to enter the room without any trouble. The room was a small, square-shaped chamber with a large filling cabinets lining each other sides of the wall, with all the letters ranging from A to Z's. This may take longer than I thought. This may be longer than I thought, but soon after, Lisa has been more understanding, because apparently, whenever she goes further into the sort of cabinets, she may never know what it's like to be interested. This may take longer than I thought. She's opened the bottom drawer and skimmed through the files in the L section, in hopes of finding Lincoln's medical file. Lisa's plan was to find a file with Lincoln's x-ray and info on his current medical conditions in hopes of being able to access the amount of damage due to Lincoln's spine and brain. If Lisa were able to get more of a courier to look at Lincoln's internal injuries from the x-rays and the CT scan results, she might have a chance to possibly repairing some of the damage done to his spine and his brain. While Lisa knew that not all of Lincoln's injuries may be incurable due to the severity of how much damage of his internal organs took from the prank accident, she hoped that she could at least heal some of the damage done to Lincoln's brain. However, Lisa knew that Lincoln's would still remain paralyzed when the race down. Dr. Lloyd had said a shattered piece of Lincoln's spine and had been surgically removed due to how expensive the damage was, so there is no way of repairing it. Lisa already had a plan on how to heal some of her brother's injuries, yet she still needs Lincoln's medical file if she was going through it in order to prevent any further accidents. Lisa had used her siblings for many of her experience in the past, and many of them didn't end very well. And this is definitely one of the experiences that Lisa knew she could have messed up. Lincoln's life could possibly be on the line. If Lisa screwed something up, it could very well mean the death of Lincoln. It's gotta be here somewhere. It would seem that finding Lincoln's file wouldn't be that easy. There were many other filing cabinets with the files under L. So Lisa figured that she may be able to So Lisa figured out she'd be in there for quite a while. She still wanted to be as quick as a search as she could through, so she was afraid that Dr. Lloyd or another hospital staff member might enter the room and chase Lisa out, ruining any chance she had of finding the info she needed to try to help Lincoln. Having no such luck with the first cabinet, Lisa tried the second one next to her, hoping to find Lincoln's file. However, it wasn't there either. She tried the third file cabinet, no luck either. As Lisa was about to move on to the fourth cabinet, she heard the approaching footsteps from outside the room. Shoot, I better hide. She saw an empty storage locker near the far right corner of the room, so she ran over and squeezed inside of it, just as a person entered the room. Dr. Lloyd was in there. Lisa made sure that the locker was fully closed as Lloyd approached one of the file cabinets and pulled it open, muttering to himself as he did so. Then, Dr. Lloyd looked down at an opening file cabinet door that Lisa had forgot to close and walk over it. I could have sworn that this was closed the last time I came here. Must have missed it. Lisa then watched Lloyd place a file inside of a six-filling cabinet with an L section. I really wish I could have told the Lau family the truth about Lincoln. What about I found of this sort of thing? This is gonna be a very beyond me ever since. I just can't believe it. This is something beyond me that I can ever been doing this. According to this, I just don't know when I'm ever gonna be appreciative of this. You know, I should told them the truth about Lincoln, about what I found in his new X-ray an hour ago, but if I did, I don't think they'd be able to handle it. How am I supposed to tell them that Lincoln has only a month left to live? Lisa felt her heart nearly stop when she heard Lloyd says that Lincoln had only a month to live. What did Dr. Lloyd mean by that? Lisa began to feel her heart beat faster than it had ever beat before. What had Dr. Lloyd found out in Lincoln's X-ray was so serious that it cost him his life in 1 month. Whatever it is, or whatever it was, Lisa knew it couldn't be good. She then watched Dr. Lloyd place an X-ray folder into the file cabinet under the L section. Then he sighed and shut the drawer. I have to tell them all at some point. I should really tell them all at some point. Otherwise, they'll never forgive me after this. As soon as Dr. Lloyd was gone, Lisa emerged from inside of the locker, feeling more anxious than ever. Despite being a 6-year-old pathology and rarely showing the sorrowful emotions, this one moment nearly made Lisa lose it. The thought of Lincoln's dying from some unknown injury terrified Lisa, and she knew that the answers she thought were in this file. Lucky for Lisa, she has seen the drawer what Dr. Lloyd placed in an X-ray, so she could have been continuing her search any longer. The sooner or later, the Lisa might be understand how it feels to be interested in curiosities. The sooner or later, when she looked in the file and decided that something in her mind really tells me that the mysterious thing really happened. No matter what was she thinking, no matter how much the further investigation entails her. So, sooner or later, she knows something. The file was luckily in the second filling cabinet drawer, so Lisa was able to reach it easily. Once she's opened it, she found a file in L section labeled Lincoln Loud and pulled it out. Then Lisa opened the file to the Lincoln's medical test results from both of his X-rays, CT scans, and a surgical file. The first one Lincoln checked was an X-ray photo taken from one of Lincoln's CT scans, which she held up in a light to get a better look at it. And what she saw was shocking her. Oh my goodness. The X-ray Lisa held was one of the taken the day Lincoln was brought into the hospital right after the horrible prank accident, and it looked as horrible as Dr. Luan has described. A large piece of Lincoln's skull around his forehead had been broken in a triangular shape and had been embedded deep into the frontal lobe of his brain, and a long crack could be broken near to his wrist line, as several spinal discs shattered into pieces, and also several broken ribs, bones, and the picture wounds of Lincoln's left lung. The next few x-rays were the ones were taken after Lincoln's surgeries, and then one more that happened just a few hours ago. This was the one that Lisa had been dreading to see. The x-ray was a CT brain scan showing the more detailed and advanced image of Lincoln's brain. And Lincoln noticed. And then Lisa began to notice something. Then Lisa began to noticing something. But the more she been understand about this, the sooner or later she never knows what's the proof about it. Lisa noticed something near the very bottom of the area of the brain of a few inches ahead of her brain's beat. A skoggy white bulge could have been seen in an x-ray that extended a few inches around the bottom of Lincoln's brain, and upon closer inspection, Lisa realized and ordered that it was the brain hermitage. It wasn't very big, but it was easily visible on an x-ray, and easy to miss unless you look close enough. No. Why? Why didn't the doctor say anything about this? She couldn't understand why Dr. Lloyd would keep something like this from her family. And more so, how could such a small brain hermitage kill Lincoln in just a month? Surely it could be the surgical drain since it was so small. However, upon inspecting the area where the hermitage was locked in, Lisa understand why. The hermitage was very too far down into the brain, which would make it extremely difficult and dangerous for the surgeons to maneuver a microsuction tubule around the brain flaps. The only way to reach that far down into the brain would be make incisions into it with a surgical knives, which would prove fatal. Radiation treatments. Radiation treatments. Radiation treatment that would also do no good, since the hermitage wasn't a tumor, and that meant only one thing. Lincoln wouldn't survive for this for long. The hermitage would keep getting longer o- over time. The sooner after, the hemorrhage wasn't a tumor, and that meant only one thing. Lincoln wouldn't survive for long. The hemorrhage would keep getting larger over time until eventually it killed Lincoln. And Lisa felt her eyes welled up with tears at this horrible realization. No, this can't be. This can't be happening. It can't. She looked at the x-rays and then Lincoln's medical files come to a conclusion. The only way that she have any chance at saving Lincoln's life was if she had a copies of the original files. Lisa had recently been working on a special inventions before pranking the accident. One that would revolutionize medical advancements, yet she had put it on hold for a time after Lincoln's horrible accident. Lisa realized that this invention would hopefully be the key to saving Lincoln's life, and she'd be able to have some copies of Lincoln's medical files in order to help her how to know that treat Lincoln's properly. Lucky for Lisa, she had snuck Lori's cell phone and into her pocket for his very occasion. She pulled out the phone and snapped several photos of Lincoln's x-rays, CT scans, and medical files, then slipped it back into her pocket and placed the original files back into its file cabinets. As Lisa headed out of the medical files room, she reflected at what she had heard, what Dr. Lloyd says about Lincoln's has only a month to live, and felt her heart beat faster than both fear and anxiety. Lisa vowed to complete the inventions before the end of the month and tried to save her brother's life before it's too late. She also wondered if she would tell her parents about what she'd heard, but quickly decided against it. Lisa's family was already under enough pressure with Lincoln's being in this concerned state, and if she were to tell him what she had just heard that Dr. Lloyd said, this would make things so much worse than they were now. Luan is also suffering the worst sense of she had been cause of all of this, and if she were to hear that her brother would die in just a month due to the factional brain hemorrhage, she'd probably end up falling into the deeper depression than she was in now. Lisa wouldn't be too surprised if she tried to commit suicide. I'll find a way to save your brother. I swear, and upon my life, I won't let you die. Not while I'm still breathing. Then she headed back towards the recovery room, praying for the miracles.